Hello everybody, welcome to Turtle Talks. This is my vlog, this is my podcast, show, whatever you want to call it, that's what it is. This is where I come and I talk about the things I've been doing and what's been happening and place to vent really. And then, a place for you guys to hear conversation, and if you want to talk back, you can hit me up on Twitter at turtle number 13. Or you can leave comments on my YouTube if you are watching this there. I do try and read all the comments. Don't always reply because a lot of them will be rude, but the ones that are nice, I will at least try to say something if there's a question or something. But aside from that, let's get going. What have I been playing? You might have noticed if you've been on YouTube and watched my sub box, my videos that have been going up have mostly been Terraria, and I did so far 3 hours. I'm trying to let that get released in 15-minute increments. I used Twitch to record the VODs and then just had it auto put them over on YouTube as a whatever export to YouTube, and it gives you this option to 15-minute crop chop the videos, and so I did that, and so there's some harsh breaks and some very just not well timed. The first 2 hours actually went over like 2 minutes, and so each of those have like a part 5 that is under 2 minutes or around 2 minutes for the second one, I think, and then I actually set a timer for the third hour, so I was like, okay, I got this, I can do this without screwing it up, and I stopped it pretty close, somewhere in the 59-minute mark. So that one actually worked out better. But learning as you go, you gotta actually set an alarm or something on your iPhone or iPod or whatever you got sitting under your desk, so you can keep these times. And so that's what I did, and it worked really well for the third hour. And so I'm waiting. I actually the one day I did 2 hours almost in a row. I took a little break to get like a drink and stuff, but the second hour was just like, I'm gonna do another little bit, and I set the timer and I went for it. And so I'm having a lot of fun with that. I actually went back to Terraria because I haven't played since the 2.0 or 2.1, whatever. The patch that added a lot of the stuff, and they're at 2.1.4, I think. And so there's stuff that I haven't seen and haven't played it in the game, and just like I never used the extractinator or whatever it's called. So that's all kind of new to me, and it's kind of, I wanted to start a new world and see like how quickly maybe you can progress more quickly now, or maybe I don't know. I was trying to figure out if it's easier now than it was. It's a 2-year-old game, right? It's 2000. Yeah, I think it's 2 years old. But I mean, it was a game that came out and I had a lot of fun playing. So still able to have fun with it. I'm still having fun with it. So why not share that on Twitch and YouTube? And I think it's gone pretty well. I think the one thing that probably isn't as fun to watch on it as the other kind of videos that I'll do is there's a lot of just the digging and OCD, me fixing stuff. So I'm trying to minimize that. And after the first hour, I actually took like a little quick unrecorded session and just like fixed a little tunnel underneath of the house and just edged some of the house stuff up to make it look right, or better. And that's the little things that I don't have to show. Probably, maybe, I don't know, maybe some people would want to see that. I figure most people wouldn't, so I just every now and then I'm gonna have to like take like a few minutes, 20 minutes or something that I'm not even recording, and just be like fix. But those are minor things, and that's there's a lot to do in that game. So I think you could do a playthrough or a let's play of it and spend quite a lot of time doing just about anything. And it'd be better probably if I had another person with me and we're talking back and forth and joking. But a lot of other people have done that, and so I'm not trying to copy off of them or do that. I'm trying to do my own thing. So there is some games coming down that I'm going to want to play pretty soon. Gauntlet comes out on the 22nd, yeah, somewhere around there. I think it comes out on Steam, And that's a game I remember playing back in my senior year of high school. My friends had whatever version came out on like the original Xbox. And so we played that a little bit, and we played Phantasy Star Online, and we played what was that one demo game with like the four colors on Xbox that everyone had. Like everyone had this demo, and the demo had all the stuff, so you never actually had to buy the real game. It seemed like I knew one person that actually bought the game, and it was just one of those like party pack games. But like one of it was like you had the people in the little hamster balls rolling into each other and trying to play like a King of the Hill thing, and one of them was you're trying to go through the obstacle course around a spiral like corkscrew thing up. But the demo, I mean, the demo for that on Xbox was pretty good, and I think we spent a bit of time playing that because you could play all four players, and it was a pretty good, I don't know, Friday night party video game nerd party thing that we did. We had a lot of friends that were actually very into video games at that time, so we had multiple people playing Phantasy Star Online, and then people playing that, and then Phantasy Star was on the GameCube, and then people were on the Xbox playing that, or I don't think those weren't the friends that I had that were into Halo and stuff, but I was into Halo, and so I had other friends that I'd play Halo with too, I think, before Halo 2, Halo 1. But Halo also, I would be playing a different group of friends. So yeah, it was very, very good time for gaming, and so Gauntlet coming back and being on Steam and stuff is, I hope it's going to be fun. It's not a game I played a whole lot of. Like I played Phantasy Star a lot more. To be honest, I liked Phantasy Star and just the way it worked and the leveling and loot and all that. And my friend said that Gauntlet was a lot like that, but I didn't spend enough time playing it. But some of them did. The Gauntlet that we had, I don't know. It was the weird Xbox version. I don't know what the original arcadey style was. I don't know that far back, but so I look forward to this, and the reviews and streams and stuff I've seen of it show potential for good, but it's demos and early release versions, so you don't really know what it's going to be like until you get your hands on it. And it's marked on Steam for $20, so why not? It's not a $60 game. I'm not gonna have to sink a ton of time to get my money's worth out of it. And so I'll probably have some streams of that. I'll probably do a little bit on Twitch. I hope I can find some friends that play, or I hope that they have integrated Steam really well so you can use your Steam friends, because I hate making a new account and a new thing on a new game for a week or two and making so many friends. That's my problem with like Origin and Titanfall is if I go play Titanfall, I don't have any of my friends from Steam that play it, because all my friends from Steam play Counter-Strike or Black Ops 2. That's pretty much all my friends. And then there's the few of my friends that are not from those two that are just League of Legends friends that had Steam and were like, let's add each other on Steam in case of ever, and we never play anything. None of those friends, we never play games together, we're never coordinated enough to do anything, so it just doesn't happen. So Origin, I have the problem of like, Titanfall, if I want to go play Titanfall, it's like, well, do I have any friends on Origin? No, I have none, so I'm not playing with anyone. Do I have any friends on Steam that are also my friends on Origin? I don't know. I don't want to go like, hey, are you on this? Do you have this game too? Do you want to play? And it doesn't run through Steam, but that just, because EA wants to have their own thing going, and not much you can do about it, but it's a thing. So, yeah, my problem with going to Titanfall and playing is like, one, every time I've gone back to play, there's like some patch, and then I'm like, oh, this is the time I would have been playing, and then when it's done, I'm like, I probably would have played about this long, and I would have probably quit. So I mean, not always. I mean, there's a couple times I've played 2 hours of Titanfall, but the game just doesn't have the hold. And I finally watched some people stream Destiny, and I felt like it's gonna be the same way, where like, even if I were to try and play Destiny, it's not gonna be it's just not gonna be a game that I care about. So I'm not a big console gamer anyways, and I don't know when it will make it, or if it'll make it to computer. Who knows? But everyone's like, it's gonna be so awesome. It's like, no, it's gonna be Borderlands Halo edition, and it's I don't know, it's just not gonna be anything that special. Destiny doesn't look that appealing. I feel like it's gonna be about the same as Titanfall, where people play it for about a week. People are just so into it for like a week. They're like, this is the best game. Oh, it's so awesome. Everyone should play it. You should be playing it. You should play with us. You should play. And then I would be the person that waits like about 2 weeks, and then I finally get it, and then everyone's gone. No one's playing it anymore. I didn't do that with Titanfall. I think it was like just a day or something. But man, I remember Diablo 3 when it first launched. Like I probably waited a month or something because they said that they weren't going to have the real life auction house open and stuff right away. They were going to wait a little while, and then I was like, so I got it before that even opened. Or before the auction house. I don't remember. Did they have the auction house right away? I don't remember. Maybe I think they had the gold auction house for a while, but then they had the real life money one. Now it's all gone because they decided that was all bad ideas. So I don't know. But I remember waiting a little bit in Diablo, and then by the time I actually got it, everyone had quit playing. Like everyone had played, because you had to play the story over the first 20 levels, and then you had to play it over the next 40 levels. You started over, and then you had to play it to 50 or so, and then you had to play it again to get to 60, and then you just kept having to play it to get gear, and by then everyone was sick of the story. Everyone was pretty much bored of the game, and other than the people that really, really wanted gear, they felt like they'd played it. Most of my friends are the not casual but not hardcore, like middle-core gamers, where they want to play a lot of things, but they don't want to be the best at any of them. And I have a lot of those friends that, especially at that time, that I was playing with, and they're competitive, but they're not like committed competitive. They're not like, I want to be the best, I want to get sponsored, I want to be streaming. They don't want to be anything. They just want to play the game, relax after work or whatever, school. They want to have that break time, and that's fine. That's where I think a lot of gamers fall into that category, where they're not the real casual gamers that are just playing like Bejeweled or Farmville or something. They're not the stay-at-home wife, stay-at-home moms that are playing Farmville. They want to play a game, but they don't have. They want to win. They were mad when they lost. And these friends, playing League of Legends and stuff, they weren't ever the best. Maybe that was the group of friends that. Some of them were pretty good, but they weren't going to be the pro gamers. Then they knew it. I know it too. I'm never going to be the best of like League of Legends. I'm a lot better at FPS games, so that's why I bring up Titanfall and Destiny and stuff in this talk. Is those are games that I feel like I would want to play and be really good at. And I spent 360 something, 380 hours on Black Ops 2, almost 400 hours now, I think. And I'd still play it if Call of Duty Ghosts didn't come out and ruin the community and chop it in less than half, and then I like Black Ops 2 a lot. So Advanced Warfare is coming out 2 months. I'll probably play that quite a bit. But I won't have friends that are right into it on my Steam list. A lot of them will still stick with Counter-Strike Go or Source. Some of them are still stuck with Source, which probably a better option. Counter-Strike Source it's just I don't know, it had a better community. I don't know if it's still there, because I switched and tried to play Counter-Strike Go, and there's no community. There's no, there's a little bit, but there's no, I don't know, none of my friends that are like, let's play together, especially the times that I'm on. And then there's no no servers for the gun game mode and stuff that I like. It's all the traditional style. So it's kind of sad. There's not as much, Counter-Strike Source had so many like map makers and people playing and so many servers and clans, and I think they've Steam changed something that it just didn't work or didn't carry over well for Counter-Strike Go global events. It just I don't know. It's sad. It's really sad because I mean I had a clan of hundreds of people that I mean we all played every night for a long time. So some of those people, they're still on my friends list. I just don't know what games they're playing, and then you can see what they're playing on Steam. But a lot of times, a lot of us are playing other games on now Origin or League of Legends that's not on Steam, or some of them are back to World of Warcraft, or some of them are in Diablo probably. If they were ever my friends in World of Warcraft, I see some of my World of Warcraft friends when I play Diablo, and they're like, "Hey, dude, what's? Haven't seen you in years." It's like, I know, same old, still playing games, still doing stuff, and so it's cool that Blizzard at least has their community linked, but Origin, I just don't have friends over there. I don't know who's on there. I don't, if there was a way to import Steam friend list or something, that'd be great. I'd probably do that. I don't know. I mean, it's not super important. And there's, I think I have Battlefield 3. I don't have Battlefield 4. And then I have Titanfall, and Titanfall's just, it's one of those games no one's stuck with very long, and every time I have jumped on there, I'm like, yeah, I don't know anyone, so I'm kind of just pubbing it. I'm playing against people I don't know. I stomp a few, I get called a hacker by a few, and then I leave or I disconnect or something happens, and I'm like, well, I'm good. I got my fix. I shot some stuff. I'd rather be playing like Left 4 Dead and shooting zombies endlessly if I'm gonna do the PvE style, like attrition and stuff. And that's where like that's where Destiny comes in, where I'm like, if I'm gonna play a game that's all about like going through and killing bullet spongy things, I'd rather play Left 4 Dead, or I'd say I'd rather play Borderlands, but I never really got into Borderlands. It's just not my kind of game. I mean, it's almost the kind of game I would want. It's just something about it aesthetically is not for me. I feel a little motion sick when I play it. The high contrast of the like that style, it's just crazy. I don't know. I don't like it. Something about it just hurts the eyes. And I never got Borderlands 2 because I just felt like the first one, I didn't make it very far in it, so I just never bothered to get the second one. So, yeah. Moving on. Anime. I've been watching Naruto Shippuden. I can't get through that enough. Like I'm burning through it like really fast. I'm 6 seasons in, somewhere in the 6th season, and I'm like, oh, I want to watch more, and then I watch more episodes. I mean to watch like 1 or 2, and I end up watching like 5 or 6, and I'm like, I really need to go do something, go to sleep, whatever I'm doing, and I'm like, I'm gonna watch another one, like one more. And then it gets to a like cool point, and it's like, oh, they're about to do something awesome, and they have this build up where it lets you know something's gonna happen, and then they do it in some way that you wouldn't have expected, I think, or I wouldn't have, and it's quite enjoyable on as far as anime goes. I mean, it's kind of a kiddish one, but it's got ninjas, so it's cool. It's kind of, Naruto's that, like, screaming, rush into everything idiot, but the other characters are really good, and I really like a lot of the other characters. I mean, there's a little bit of the anime cliche kind of characters where they have, stereotypes, but they have, like, each character has its own, like, one thing that makes them, like, their own character for sure. Whether it's their fighting style or their abilities to do whatever, they have something that makes them fairly unique, even if it like reminds you of some other show, or it reminds you of a movie or something, or a character from something else, or comic book or something. It has just a good way of representing them, and then it gives a lot of character detail and background stories, and you get to know a lot of the characters over the course of watching Naruto and then Naruto Shippuden. You get a lot of the different characters, and so you kind of know like where their mindset is, where their goals are, what they want to do, and stuff like that. And I think it's done really well. So I've been going through that really fast. I mean, I don't know. Hold on. This might mess up the background thing a little bit for a second in the corner. 6. I'm 100 and probably 17 episodes into it. So 100 episodes. I mean, that should normally take quite a while, but I've burned through it pretty quick, you know, so that's really the only show I've been watching. Everything else, I mean, I finished Doctor Who as far as the 2005 to 2013 or whatever seasons for Doctor Who, so I'm to the 12th Doctor, but I haven't watched the first episode of the 12th Doctor. I saw the end of what's on Netflix, and that's it. So I looked up like how long until there will be more Doctor Who on Netflix, and like the show's like the season that is happening is just happening, so like I think they're 2 or 3 episodes in now. That's gonna be a while before they get 16 or whatever episodes done and they put them up on Netflix. So not expecting to see anything of that anytime soon. It's kind of sad, a little disheartening, but it's made me look up the older Doctor Who from the 60s and 70s, 80s a little bit, because I'm interested, but it's not, I know it's not all on Netflix, and I know there's little story arcs series on Netflix that I could watch, but it just feels so incomplete. So you know, I don't know. I know they're missing a lot of episodes. Doctor Who, like the BBC, whatever their backup storage had like some big purge or dump, or just no reason to keep things, thinking, you know, there wouldn't be any reason for reruns or something 40 years later, 50 years later almost, that so they lost a lot of the episodes, archival issues and stuff. So they, out of 226 or 230 episodes or whatever it is, they've lost like 90. It's a lot of episodes to just be missing and not have, but some of them they have the audio for, so they have like this animated style for the video, and then have the audio, which I don't know. My friend Lewis, he says he's got some of them on DVD and he really likes it. He says he can appreciate it, even though, you know, they lost the video, they still have the audio, so you still get the story, and that's cool. To me, it's kind of sad. It's like, well, I'll never know what happened. I'll never know the whole story, because there's some stuff that's just gone forever. That's sad. What are you gonna do? I don't know. But it's sad. It's definitely it's a shame. I think you know, I think a lot of video and stuff in the past, and audio, music and stuff in the past, has been lost. And I think we're finally getting to a generation that's like, we're gonna back up everything, and we're gonna have multiple backups of everything, and we're gonna have backups of our backups backed up, and we're gonna keep that in a mountain somewhere in Norway. And in case humanity was ever curious of what it was like in the 21st century, here it is. And so sad that, like, we're the generation that wants to back up everything and save everything for the future, when just, you know, a generation or so ago they misplaced and lost a lot of things. But I'm one I've brought up, you know, what is going to be remembered? Is Justin Bieber and all the pop music going to be remembered in 300 years? Or, I mean, we're getting to the point where almost any band that makes music can put it up on the internet, and that could save it almost forever. As long as the internet's around, that could save it for a long time. So what is going to be remembered? What is going to, you know, and some shows, even Doctor Who has you know, some of those things where they're in the future and they're like, oh, this was the like #1 song, blah blah blah, and you're like, this was not, and they like have it mislabeled or wrong or something. It's like, how much stuff? Because I mean, we remember Mozart and Beethoven and Bach and other classical music, but what is going to carry on and what's not? What is going to be thought of as popular or as, you know, number one hits when they maybe weren't, or mislabeled things? Mislabeled things, that's definitely an issue in the digital, like, backed up stuff. I mean, I used to have, in my iTunes library, I had to go through forever. I mean, it took forever to go through and just make sure everything had the right album art, which that's impossible because somehow iTunes screws it up all the time and it auto updates and it's like, here's the album. And it's like, no, that's what someone else thought was it, but that's not it. I had it right. And then you have to go through and fix everything again. But I mean, and then there's the album names. Some things are on multiple albums, and some things are, you know, lowercase letters when they should be in uppercase, and some things are just labeled wrong. And I spent a lot of time trying to make my iTunes library, and I just like have given up. Like, forget iTunes. I will use Pandora and Spotify. iTunes and my music collection is so huge, it's just impossible to completely collect. I mean, I went to a CD shop one time that was going out of business, and I just spent like $300 buying, like, they were selling everything for like $1 because it was right at the beginning of the digital, like, market for iTunes selling songs for $1, and it was right at the beginning of, well, I wouldn't say the beginning of, but it was right in that era where not Napster, but Kazaa and a bunch of those other torrents were kind of picking up, and peer-to-peer networking and stuff was all very share happy, and everyone was like, here's music, here's music, here's music. So I spent a lot of money buying a lot of CDs at this shop that was closing down. And then at one point I was like, okay, project, rip all these CDs and put them on iTunes. You know how, I mean, that was a lot of work, and back then iTunes didn't automatically find the name of every CD and the tracks and albums and genre and stuff, so you had to like sit there and type it in. This is this song, this is this album, this is this genre. It was a very long, I mean, that took me months, and some of it was still wrong, you know? Some of it was just like, I give up, track 1, 2, 3, 4. So some of it was very off, and it took me a long time. I actually went back and tried to like redo something, like delete the old files and re-upload, not upload, but import the music at one point, because then iTunes was actually like auto finding the name of everything, and I was like, this is so much handier. But it was still, it's a lot of CDs. And I already had a large CD collection by that time, so like, yeah, a lot of music on my computer. I mean, 100 gigs more. It's ridiculous how much, you know. And I mean, some like Pink Floyd is like 12 CDs for Pink Floyd. Jethro Tull is like, I don't know how many, 40 CDs. So many. I mean, there's some bands that have a lot, and I get all of it. So as a collector, I would get all of it. And I have a lot of those CDs and stuff in a closet over there, and they're just sitting there. I haven't used a CD for a long time. DVDs I've used recently, but even that is a lot. It's a lot less because I have Netflix in a Netflix box in the living room. I can just push a button, just get the remote, tell it what I want to watch. I don't even, like, it's too much of a hassle to get the DVD player. I'm lazy. It's so bad. But you know, that's back to where we're at, this generation that has everything online, everything backed up, everything put on Netflix, everything put on Spotify or Pandora or some place where you can get it. And you know, so what is going to be remembered? What is going to be the stuff that is thought to be the most popular of our day 300 years from now, when they're looking back and they're like, oh, that must have been really cool? Or that, you know, are they going to look at it like some people look at classic movies like, wow, this is really, really boring, because they're into such, you know, whatever, you know, all at you flashy music that's like they maybe in the future they won't have just music. They'll have to have the video with it because, you know, or the hologram with it that flashes around you, and then, you know, you buy the newest album and it's got the little dancers in a hologram around you, all projected from your watch. I don't know. The future could be weird. Who knows? Could be great. Could be terrible. I don't know. But you know, maybe they'll look at the stuff that we have and like, you actually had to like just sit there with nothing else, like nothing, no display, just one sense, just hearing. What? Why would you do that? That sounds boring. You know, we'll be like, yeah, well, before that we had records. A what? We had tape players, huh? You know. Then we had CDs. What's that? It's like a DVD. What's that? You know, like, who knows? The future will be weird. I don't know. I really don't. But yeah, it's one of those things. I always kind of wonder what it will be like, because we're getting to a very digital era. I mean, pretty much everything's getting digitalized, standardized to be digital if it's not already. I mean, even I tried looking up Blu-ray players and stuff that didn't have HDMI as their only port, and like you can't get the old like VGA whatever coaxial cables. You couldn't get like the yellow, white, red. You just can't get those anymore on a DVD player. Why? Because they don't want you to use it. Why? Because it's not encrypted. HDMI is encrypted, so what? You know, they want you to use HDMI so that they can control what flows through the cable, which way it flows through the cable, how it gets used by the TV or DVD player or whatever source you try and send it to. It can say no, you can't do that, you know, so that you can't burn it. That's the initial intent on the HDMI, like single direction pass through and whatever, however HDMI encodes the stuff through the wire. That is part of the anti-piracy generation technology, and so that's making things a bit different because it's standardized. Like now you have to get HDMI on your TV, you have to get a DVD player that has HDMI, you have to get, everything has to have this one type of cable, and then how long will that last until they'll have the next one, display port. Everything has to have a display port, everything has to have, you know, so you can do 4K because HDMI only does 1080p, and if you want to do 4K, you've got to get DisplayPort. If you want to do, you know, so we'll see how that all pans out in the future. But right now, it's kind of weird. It's like, it's very frustrating when you're trying to work with an older TV. Like I have this big old TV that it still works great. Like it's a solid, good TV. It's a really good picture for as old as it is. I mean, it still works really great for playing my GameCube. I like playing Smash Brothers and stuff on it every now and then, or SSX Tricky. And am I, you know, can I hook it up to my computer? No, not anymore. I used to be able to. My older computer, my older video card had a S-Video out, and S-Video would go to it, and it was fine. Now, nope, good luck. Like, you just can't do it. Newer video card doesn't have any S-Video out, doesn't have the regular, like, the D-sub VGA. It just has HDMI, HDMI-D and HDMI-I. One of them is analog, and so you could technically get a converter thing and send it over, but do I want to pay $40 for a converter? Not really. It's just another piece of hardware that's going to sit on my desk, hardly used or never looked at. Even if it is used, it's just going to be always on. Or, oh man, the things you have to do just to try and put something on your TV is a pain. You know, it's like I can just get a Roku or what's the Amazon box, or I can I don't want to get the Apple one, forget that, that's dumb. But you know, you can get one of those Netflix players and just play Netflix on your TV. $40, it's as much, you know, as much or whatever is the converter thing that would move my computer screen over there, and it'd look like crap because the computer screen, you have to put it in a funky resolution, and it doesn't auto scan or auto, like the size adjust thing. That used to work in XP just fine. It would automatically just put it at the right resolution. Windows 7 doesn't do it. Like, it was like I had the same video card and everything, and I switched from XP to Windows 7, and it was a different TV then, but the TV that I used just didn't work anymore. All of a sudden it was broken, and it just didn't work, and it was nothing you could do about it, really. You know, just set the resolution on the second screen as some little tiny resolution, and it cropped it and made it funky, and it didn't fit the screen right, and it was just such a hassle. It was just hardly worth it. You know, color was all wrong, and everything was just goofy. It's like, it's still a good TV for everything. I mean, for as far as DVDs go and GameCube and stuff goes, it's a great TV. But then if I get like an Xbox One, am I gonna have to get an HDMI like high def TV? Probably. Lame. Not cool at all. Not looking forward to that. Not happy about that. That's just the way technology goes, and it's sad. In other news, I finally, for my mom, built her a computer, so she has her own, like, up-to-date, working, can-do-everything computer. It has, like, her computer was getting so bad, it couldn't upload photos, it couldn't take photos off of her camera, it couldn't upload photos to Facebook, it couldn't play any of the Facebook games, the cow clickers and whatnot that she would want to play, you know, casually. She just wants to play Bejeweled or something. Couldn't do any of that with her old computer. It was just so old. Like, it was bad. Still running Windows 2000. It was really bad. Which, I mean, it's 2014. It's pretty outdated. I mean, they haven't supported Windows 2000 in years. So, I mean, they stopped supporting Windows XP. Windows 7 just had its like 5 years, no more big updates, only little minor updates warning. So yeah, it's old. So she's got a new computer, and it's updated. It's probably more up to date than mine in some aspects. It doesn't have like, it has onboard video, but it's got a AMD APU, which, I mean, it works pretty good. It's like a Radeon 78 something video built in, and so the CPU is a quad core or whatever CPU, but then it also has the GPUs for the video, so it's pretty good. It plays video games decent. She doesn't have like 1080p monitor or anything, but she has, you know, one of my old monitors that looks fine. It looks great. So, you know, I built that, and it's probably the smoothest computer I've ever put together. I mean, it's like everything. It was a Gigabyte motherboard. Everything went together. It was an Antec case, Gigabyte motherboard, AMD processor, the AM3, or is it AM3 Plus, whatever those processors, that generation, and then it's the A series, APU series. So, I mean, she can still get a video card. It's a full ATX motherboard. So I didn't get a mini or anything stupid. I wanted to get a real good motherboard that, you know, she can eventually put other stuff on. It's got, I don't know, 10 SATA, 6 gig SATA ports. SATA 3. Yeah. Yeah, I want to say it's got 10 of the 6 gigabyte SATA 3 ports. So, you know, plenty of room to put in as many hard drives and stuff. The hard drive bays are like the easy access sideways facing, not facing backwards towards the back of the case, but actually facing towards the side. So if you just take off the panel, you can just pop stuff right in. You know, set everything up really nice. She got like, I don't have even a solid state hard drive, and she does. So her computer's like, psh, boot, bam. You know, 20 seconds or less, it's up and ready to go, like fully booted and fully loaded. Mine's like 2-3 minutes later, it's like boo-doo-doo, bing, you know, whatever Skype's pop noise when it starts up, and it's like, really, you took that long? Like, give me a like, I can start her computer and it's up before mine's even like showing the Windows logo. Hers is like ready to go. What do you want to do? So I don't know. She hasn't even got to use it yet. So she'll get to use her computer, I think, by Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday. It's Friday, so she's out of town uh, you know, so I did this little project for her, you know, help a mom out, do a nice thing when you're the kid in the family that went to school for computers. Things you got to do is help mom out. So did that, and you know, it's funny because smoothest build ever. Everything went together really good, and then I tried to put a wireless card in it, PCI card, and that was the one thing that was just like, no, you don't want to do this. You would much rather have a wire. Like, it has the onboard Realtek or whatever wired Ethernet cable, but the wireless card was just like, no, no, try again. So I ended up just getting a USB one. It's like, she's got enough USB ports. She's got USB 3.0 front and back of the case. She's fine. She will have whatever she needs to hook up, can hook up. She's got a webcam. She's got everything. Everything. Her webcam wouldn't even work on her old computer. Like, it would not support it. She was lucky a microphone worked because I put a sound card in there that would support that. It just so many issues with the old computer. I'm so glad to like get her caught up with the day and age that we're in, you know. And you know, smoothest build, and everything went together so nice. The hard drive, like the solid state hard drive, makes me a little bit jealous. I'm like, I need one of those. Like, that computer starts up real quick. I mean, everything installation went quick. Like, Windows was on, like, bam. Like, it was like, what do you want to do? I mean, I remember you used to have to like format and stuff before you put in a new hard drive. You have to format it and get it to the right NTFS or whatever it is, whatever the not FAT32. You had to switch stuff over sometimes. That used to be a hassle back 10 years ago. Her old computer didn't even have a SATA hard drive. I think it was Serial. No, it was the PATA. It was the old IDE. The big fat plug that was like 30 wires. It was real bad. Real slow. It's so much better now. So hopefully she's really happy with that. Hopefully she can actually like do stuff on Facebook, and Skype will work. Skype stopped working on her old computer. Like, Skype stopped supporting Windows 2000 was the issue. And just everything was like, you know what, Windows 2000 is just, no one's using that but you. So she's all set up. She's got Windows 7. She's got, I probably should have got Windows 8 for it. Probably would have been better, but cost more. So, but Windows 7, you know, everything it's like a minimal, it's what I would put as the minimal gamer case, but it's like the really good, like, best brands I could pick, and like the stuff that has like a 3-year warranty on her power supply is like an EVGA power supply. 3-year warranty, she'll be fine. You know, that'll last a long time. A lot better than a cheap thing that would have came in some cheap, you know, HP or even a Dell, and you know, whatever, they would have got the lowest budget, lowest price piece and still charged her what I paid for these better brand names. So, you know, happy to make that work and do all that. I've done that while she's been away. She's been on a trip, so she'll get home and she'll be able to just like jump online and talk to friends, which she doesn't have a smartphone and doesn't have any of that stuff. So while she's on the trip, she's just like completely stranded and without it. And I don't know how people lived back in the day when they didn't have a way to communicate with people, but you know, it's alright now. She'll have pretty much anything she wants to do. I mean, other than like hardcore gaming, that computer will handle it. It's I'd say it's an entry-level gaming PC, minus the video card. So, I mean, if she were even to ever decide she wanted to play like Diablo or something, she probably could. She'd just have to turn down the settings a lot, but then she could just get a video card if she really wanted to. So, you know, there's $150 to spend on a cheap video card, and she'd be totally set. But yeah. So, anyways, that's that was a big project actually this week. It took a lot of my time. A lot of times that I wanted to record and do more stuff, but I knew I had the Terraria videos up and coming in increments and releasing a video a day. Trying not to just flood the inbox with like 15 videos. I've set it out, staggered it out pretty well, I think. 2 more videos, so maybe some more recording tomorrow. And then I'll release those again over the week. And yeah, so that's pretty much what's been going on. This is longer than I intended by a little bit, so I'm gonna call it good there. Thank you guys for watching, and appreciate all the views. If you guys can like, favorite, subscribe my videos, helps me out. If you guys can you know, share anything that you think is awesome or funny. If you see some of my video game videos that are good or funny or humorous to you, please share them with your friends that you think would like them, and then, you know, that just gets the word out, helps me out there. So far this is just a hobby, so I'm doing it, you know, trying to build up something. Maybe it'll at least sustain its own, you know, computer bill or something in the future. As of right now, not making much from it, so you know, the few ads that do get played, it's all just, you know, builds up until a certain point. When YouTube gets to a certain point, then it sends you a check, like at $100. So every now and then you build up that much, and then you get a check. So that's the goal. If I can get more views, I can do better. If I can get more likes and favorites and stuff, that puts my video higher in a ranking system through Google's algorithms of search patterns and whatnot. And so the more of you that are there and help and link and watch and stuff, it just helps me all out. And all of it's appreciated. Thank you guys, and we'll see you guys next time. Have a great week.